Hey Kitty, alright, I will just start with this reading. It is so intense. We have 4 major conical cards here. We have the Tower in reverse, the Devil, the Death, the Emperor in reverse, which is talking about some heavy transformation. For me, this talks about the courage, because going through so much of SHIT in your life at once is remarkable. We have almost all the heavy cards. I mean, the Tower, the Devil, the Death in one reading. This talks about huge transformation. It talks about some events in your life that are monumental, or that will monumentally change your life and for the good. It talks to me about the person who is willing to deal with their shadow, and also allowing themselves to accept the process that they're going through. This is not a nice process. There will be some burst outs of anger, of lack of integrity, all of this. But it talks to me about the person who is courageous and vulnerable enough to allow themselves to show these parts of themselves as well, while taking the accountability for it, meaning having integrity to not hurt other people unnecessarily, or even if they are in the process, apologizing, being accountable for their doings. Whew, okay, so the Tower here in reverse. When we have the Tower in reverse, it can on one hand talk about a person who is refusing the change. The Tower is talking about the foundations of our existence, what for us means to be alive. It's foundations that we are building on everything that we are doing. A lot of this is in our subconscious, something that we are not aware of, and it's for the sake of for our survival, making decisions really rapidly. But this to me talks about a person who is willing to face these behavioral patterns that they are willing to change. A person who is taking a huge leap in their life and going towards what it is that they want, but at the same time understanding that they need to change the mindset, that they want to step into this chapter of their life completely new. And this means facing what it is that is in them, what is their behavioral, what are their patterns of decision making. Again, a lot of these things are hidden in our subconscious. And in order for us to step into this world, it's of course awareness, being aware of our patterns, asking why, looking at ourselves and how we are approaching things. It's like having a loving parent to yourself, or being a therapist to yourself and questioning why. And more than rationalizing, it's talking more about feeling your emotions. I'm always talking about feeling your emotions. It's because it is a connection with how it is that you actually believe. Not how it is that you actually believe, I would say how you truly see yourself, because there's a mindset, there's a rational, or let's say a vision that is created in your mind, but your body is responding in a different way. So we want to connect these two dots, right? So I said this in one of the readings, there's a difference between rationally understanding what it is that you need to do and showing up, so embodying it, or like having a certain fear and understanding that objectively looking, there's no fear in the environment, but your body still responds in this state of fear. So we want to connect these two and understand ourselves more clearly. And this is with feeling our emotions, sitting with ourselves and feeling what it is that we feel, and leaning more towards the preferred reality. So talking to ourselves that we can do this, that we have ourselves, or this situation was not dealt in the best way, or we didn't feel heard, we didn't feel loved, we didn't feel supported, and giving yourself the permission to say this if that was your situation. So the Tower in reverse can also represent small gradual changes, because the tower, when it's upright, it talks about sudden changes, sudden shift. It's like an earthquake, something that you don't expect, and it happens in a moment. So in the reverse, especially because we have Eight of Swords beneath, it talks about a person exposing themselves slowly to the changes, slowly to their discomfort, slowly to their trauma. And the Eight of Swords here beneath, it talks about a person who is aware of self-deception. So Eight of Swords is a person who is trapping themselves and feeling trapped, but also all of these traps around this person in the card are loose, so they can escape. So it talks about person feeling trapped, not quite actually being trapped, but feeling trapped by their own mind, because swords represent our mental space. So when this card is upside down, it talks about a person realizing this. So it's, I think, again, such a courageous thing. So it's a person looking at their behavior, at their pattern, and willing to change it in order to feel more content, in order to feel life that they want and life that they know they deserve. But again, there has to be a link between rationally having this picture of our dream and feeling it in our body. So if you're into manifestations, or I would say manifestations, that's the missing link. It's not enough just to be aware of it, you have to embody it. So what helps here, it's thinking of your preferred version of yourself and how would they act in this situation, and leaning more and more towards that persona. So you have people who are on the stage, and some of these people are also introverted. So what it is that they created is their alter ego that they step into, who is not afraid of showing themselves and expressing themselves. So again, it's talking about bringing closer and closer your reality, or the stuck energy in your nervous system, towards your preferred reality. It's again not enough to just understand what it is that you want, it's showing up. And again, it's talking about taking small gradual steps here, especially with the tower in reverse. Again, listen to yourself. You can take a huge leap and make a huge step into it. There's really no one recipe for all. Always listen to yourself. But for the sake of these cards that are here, and for the sake of this reading, here it talks about exposing yourself little by little to the things that you feel uncomfortable, but in reality, they're not uncomfortable. They're not presenting to you a real danger, but it's just our perception that got distorted because of some event that happened to our life that closed us off. So it's a lot. First of all, it's really important to have a safe space within yourself when you are exposing yourself to the discomfort, and not doing this from the state of forcing yourself to be at peace with it. It's not just what it is that we want, it's how we do it. It's talking about the relationship that we have with ourselves. It's talking about being a parent, a loving parent to yourself, being a therapist to yourself, and doing steps in a loving way. We're not forcing, like a parent dragging the kids to face their fears. I don't believe that this is what it is that you want. But it talks about creating a safe space first and gradually exposing yourself to the discomfort. Now, this is just one of the techniques. It doesn't have to be, there's many different techniques when it comes to this. But absolutely what is true is accepting your current state and not staying in it for too long. It's just a matter of transparency and not gaslighting yourself and not suppressing what it is that is true for you, if this is the fear that you're feeling in a moment. And then kind of a lingering between the feeling of discomfort and the safe space, which is your preferred reality or your alter ego or your ideal self. Lingering between these two, kind of a putting them closer together and leaning more and more towards the preferred reality, preferred persona. This is kind of the cheat sheet when it comes to embodying the person that you want, because for a reason, it's embodying. It's not, again, just thinking about it, but feeling it in your bones, feeling the sensations and emotions. And the good practice here is, again, daydreaming, dreaming about how you want to present yourself. How does this person of your reality deal with these issues? And it's, again, for the sake of feeling the sensations and emotions. It's allowing your body to create a new sensations when it comes to the situation where before you felt the fear, you felt like you want to fight or flight or you're freezing. It's, again, lingering between these two for the sake of being honest with where you are right now and introducing the feeling that you want to feel when it comes to how you want to deal with your fears and trauma. And again, learning somatically how it is that you want to feel, and having especially love for yourself and love for the process. And again, taking small gradual steps and coming back to your safe place, coming back to your preferred reality as well as your center. So moving forward, we have here 5 of Swords, and beneath we have the Devil. So 5 also represents changes, transformations, especially with the Tower here represents the changes. We have the Death here, which represents the transformation, the life-death life cycle of our world. It's, wow, a lot of changes, just changes on steroids. It's a person who really took a lot of courage to change their life. But because we have the Emperor here, it's talking about also aggression and over control, trying to over control our life, or maybe the process of turning more in a person or turning more in your ideal self. So again, it's connected with giving grace and honor and love to yourself when it comes to changing the thought patterns, changing yourself. So 5 of Swords here, it talks about miscommunication, it talks about anger, it talks about you communicating what it is that you want, but with anger, when you are disregarding other people's feelings, and so on. And I do feel this is connected with the work that you are working on, because underneath we have the Devil. It talks about attachment styles are style of communication that can be destructive, and it's talking about feeling trapped in this pattern of communication. Again, you can be the receiver of this, or you can be the doer of this type of communication. But again, with the Tower here, again, you can talk about making gradual steps, or you can again talk about refusing to make this change. With that here, it's talking about the change that is inevitable. Okay, I will not pronounce this word correctly. Inevitable. It's something that will come. It's like the death that awaits all of us, regardless of your money status, belief systems, whatever. It awaits all of us. So it's something that will come. And again, because we have the Emperor here in reverse, it's a strong feeling of ending this aggressive tendencies, or more like the firm grip of holding a control over the things that you don't have control, and also over the things that you don't have a control. It's talking about the rigidity and the firm grip that we have around the things. And then again, sitting with this feeling and losing the grip little by little. It's again, first of all, being transparent with yourself, which is a huge step to recognize what is going on within your body, that you do feel tense. And then you are scanning your body, you're feeling tense, and you're naming where you feel tense. And then you're thinking, oh, how would you like to feel? How would you like to solve the specific situation you're talking about? And then you're giving yourself the solutions, and again, tapping into your body and naming how it is that you feel. And this is your compass when it comes to going back out into the world or dealing with situations. The solution here is listening to your body and where it feels tense, and guiding your body towards more relaxation. So it's changing this, it's transforming this way of doing. And again, it's talking as well logically understanding it, but it's talking as well connected with your behavior, acting like it in situations, because the Emperor, it's all about the action, not just the thinking. So I'll sit with the cards a little bit to see if I sense anything else. I just feel a lot of admiration for this pet. I think it's so honorable to be transparent, with the wrongdoing. A lot of people, I feel like, are pro defense mechanisms, so reacting and defending themselves. Again, there's also understanding of, or many different understandings, why we are having this defense response. And again, why I have such a love for this reading and for you, because it's a person who is willing to break this pattern and not repeat this pattern and going into loop, but looking at themselves, looking at the pattern itself and willing to change it. So I'm going to leave the reading here. I hope it helped you. This has been very intense. I mean, it's a huge change in the life, and it's for the good. It's a huge transformation. It's a huge shadow work, if that's what you are using, or a huge trauma work, and a willingness to change. We have a lot of swords here in the first part of reading, which represents the mental space. So it talks about how we talk to ourselves and our belief system as well, our mental area, and courage to be transparent and to be honest with yourself, with where you are trapping yourself, and how this affects not just you, but the relationship around you, your communication style. It talks about realizing again that you have a choice when it comes to changing these patterns and willing to do that step. So, as I said, I will leave the reading here. I hope it helped you, and I wish you all the best.